Hello and welcome to episode 58 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and as always, I am joined by Wib. Say hello.
Hello.
And I'm also joined by drummer Matt. Say hello.
Hello.
I like that pause there. I liked what you were doing. How are you, lovely gentlemen, today?
I'm doing okay. I have an adequate supply of food and plenty of blood.
For now.
For now. How are you, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, by that comparison, I'm great.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
I also have slightly more water intake as I'm sweating out at the moment, so that's good.
We're recording nice and early in the day again because your temperatures are set to reach stupid levels later, aren't they?
Yeah, 37 today.
That's
apparently
not a thing humans should be in.
And the windows have closed and I'm already sweating and it's not that hot yet.
No.
But anyway, I feel like this is like now the hot cast or something where we just moan about it being warm.
Okay, we'll stop moaning about it being hot when it stops being fucking hot.
I mean,
when people stop, burning through all the fucking ice caps, so it like massively accelerates all of the fucking bullshit, and then people start catching fire.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm glad you're fine. Do you have adequate blood and food?
For now.
For now. Just for now.
Not for much longer.
For now is all we need.
Honestly, in a week, who fucking knows?
Who knows?
The Toblerone's going to come in. There's going to be countrywide riots. People are going to die.
Toblerones are actually going back to normal again.
I know, that's why there's going to be riots.
Yeah. They're probably going to go up in price a lot, though.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yeah, anyway.
As people who are paying close attention to the channel may know, by the time you'll be hearing this, our 6th anniversary video will have gone up.
Yes.
Which was not a Q&A as it normally is, because we do effectively a Q&A on the end of every podcast now, so it seemed a bit redundant. And when we put it on a Twitter poll, it was nearly dead down the middle, like 50-50 whether we should do the Q&A or something new. So it was like, okay.
So, yeah, we'd rather do something new, because about half of people are interested in something new, so...
For the record, I voted for Q&A.
Well, you would. You get to do something in it.
Oh, we should have had Rinoa do some voices in the in the anniversary video. Damn.
And Dicko as well.
Yeah.
I realised I never actually sent a message to Dicko. I meant to say, by the way,
don't need you this year. Fuck off.
By the way, you're not wanted.
No, not that. Don't just say like we didn't mean to snub you. We weren't doing that. Like we just didn't do it, and I forgot to mention it. I'm a bad person.
This is how David Hayter felt.
Shit. But yeah, so instead we did a bat rep.
That nobody asked for.
That nobody asked for. Well, actually, lots of people have asked for bat reps.
A lot of people have been asking for a long time.
Nobody asked
But they didn't ask for what we did, which was doing a weird little drinking game while we were doing it, which had a couple of flaws in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So... we did the thing where every time someone took a wound, or more accurate, whenever Snipe took a wound, or I took 2 wounds, because
I was going to say, did you compensate for orcs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that went out the window pretty quickly, though.
Oh shit! Yeah, we forgot about that.
We forgot about that.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that ended up pretty balanced.
It didn't matter because I got 4 wounds in the whole match.
Yeah, I managed to take down 1 orc, one boy, and that was it.
What?
Yeah.
What did you?
That was it. Yeah, a shooter took out Luca. My venerable dreadnought.
Sluggers took out Luca.
Slugger took out Luca, my venerable dreadnought.
My orcs with their shitty pistols took down your dreadnought.
So I made myself a really strong vodka and lemonade, and first turn Luca takes 6 of his 8 wounds.
No. Poor Luca.
So I was like, fuck.
The other rule was you took a drink, not like a shot, we weren't crazy.
No, because that would have made us
that would have killed us.
Yeah.
But just take a drink every time you roll a 1, because it's a small game, so, it's not like if, say, I was playing like full-size, like 30-man orc squads and you roll in like 60 dice.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm guessing from what I've heard so far, lots of 1s happened.
I rolled more ones than I had ever rolled in any game ever.
I remember one particular roll where you rolled for, I think it was to hit, and you rolled 3 ones at the same time, and that was...
I think that was Lucas Stormbolter, so I get 4 shots, and I rolled 3 ones.
Yeah.
And this was pretty standard throughout the whole match.
Like Lucas Multi-Melter, literally every time I used it, rolled a 1 to hit.
Yeah.
Every single fucking time.
Because the Multi-Melter, because it's on a Venerable Dread... Well, just because it's a Venerable Dread's ballistic skill, it hits on a 2+.
Yeah, it fucking does, and it never hit.
Oh.
It was a rough time for Snipe. Anyway, for me it was great. I literally lost 1 orc
Apart
boy.
from the time when you rolled a bunch of ones and took a couple of wounds in one turn, so you had to basically down nearly a full beer.
It wasn't a full one.
Nearly a full one.
It was like a third of one, which admittedly I never had the whole peer pressure thing to chug anything, so I never know how to do that.
Oh, you never learn.
Oh yeah, no, I have no idea how you do that. You open your throat and it just goes in. Hey.
Dude, I think that's just consuming liquid or like solid matter in general. So, I mean, if you can eat, you've figured half of it out.
But regardless, it was fun, because we've not played much 8th edition.
No.
So we had a few little practice games, so we, figure out the rules.
I was going to ask if it was 8th.
Yeah. And honestly...
I'm liking it.
I really, really like 8th.
I think it's streamlined very well.
I know some people do the whole, it's been dumbed down thing like they do with, D&D 5th edition as well.
Dumbing down is completely and directly equal to streamlining.
Oh yeah, they're not... two different things.
They're not completely two different things at all.
But no, I mean, it's one of those things where, there are some things that have been simplified, and I do understand that can be, sometimes you want a bit more nuance, but I personally...
Then play an older edition.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nothing stops you from playing an older edition if you want.
That's what we did for a while.
Yeah. But no, I feel like I actually have a firm grasp on how it works now.
Yeah,
I know we're like a year late, but and just in time for Kill Team to come out, which is a new variant of the rules. Which I think comes out Friday.
That was a bit bigger than a standard Kill Team match, didn't we?
Yeah, I think our stuff would be bigger. So I think a standard Kill Team thing would be about 5 Marines or something.
Yeah.
And you had 5 Marines, a Lieutenant, and a Dreadnought, so it was a bit bigger.
Had being the key word. We played 40k Iron Man. He's killed every single model with a hammer.
But yeah,
my heart hurts, even though I know that's a joke.
I know, like the idea of that's like it's like nails on a chalkboard. It makes your teeth itch. It's horrible.
I wonder how happy we will have made people, because of course the video has not been edited yet, so God knows how well it comes out.
You watch like everyone just be like, "This is the worst thing ever. I hope you guys die."
That's quite probable. But
I mean, yeah.
When are you aiming for it to come out?
On Saturday.
Okay, so before this comes out.
Yes.
Okay, good.
There is an hour and a half of raw footage to make into something
of me and Wib getting slightly tipsy and me getting progressively drunker because my luck was so fucking poor.
Yeah. I think the only thing we actually forgot rules wise was
we kept forgetting morale checks.
No, we didn't.
I kept forgetting morale checks.
No, you did roll for all the morale checks.
Did I?
It's just the thing is...
I remember sitting there going, shit,
well, you only had
for morale?
You only had 1 squad, so...
Yeah.
You might have missed 1.
I think I missed 1.
That's fine.
It's fine. No, I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I think we should maybe do at least 1 more bat rep, because, people seem to like this game called 40k.
I've heard.
I mean, I'm not sure. I think it's a lot of fake news, but...
But no, now we've played a handful of smaller games. I would be interested to play some more regular-sized games.
Honestly, I do prefer smaller fights because they're just a lot less hassle.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I've always said that I think that 40k was at it largest fights that I enjoyed were 1,500 points. And much larger than that, then they start falling apart, I find.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think there's just too much on the table.
What we should do, though, is we should our Imperial Knights should have a fight.
Yes. Maybe we should, finish painting at least one of them.
Okay. Now, you're bringing out the personal attacks here.
And by finish painting, I mean...
Be very careful.
Do more than the 1 shoulder pad I have finished and the base coating of 2 parts.
Okay, but mine is still being crafted.
Yours is fully assembled.
Shit, you're right.
You just need to do the base. That's the only thing that's left.
The base is so big, it's like half of a frisbee, and I don't know what to put on it. Maybe another half of a frisbee.
Just put a frisbee on it.
Put a quarter of a frisbee on it.
I know. Put on your Imperial Knight base. Put an Imperial Knight.
Can I borrow your Imperial Knight for reasons?
No, you cannot.
Fuck.
Oh, we
can you buy me one?
We'll get some of the smaller, smaller scale ones from Titanicus when that comes out, and you can just have it on the base as like a kind of mini-me thing. It's all fine. Anyway, it was a fun game.
A very fun game.
Yes, I can't wait to experience more of this new and hip game, Warhammer 40,000.
I wonder if you have heard of it. It's very good.
The Warhammer...
It's the most innovative shooter I've played in years.
Oh, yes. The Warhammer game aside, I guess we should get on to what we normally do of just talk a load of bollocks.
I mean, we usually do.
I mean, we are way ahead on that anyway.
Yeah, usually. So Wiblet, Wibbo. Oh, fuck. That was the nickname police. They finally found me. What have you been up to this week and the previous week?
Not a great deal, I'm afraid.
Is it because everything's been averaging out about 30-degree days with no aircon in a brick oven flat?
That's definitely partially to blame. No, I've just kind of found myself not really doing much. Like, I mean, I guess I have been. I've been working on stuff, but I've not been doing anything of particularly constructive. However, I have sort of broken the back of watching Star Trek Enterprise finally for some reason.
Okay.
I'm not really sure why, but yeah. Because I spent like 6 months like chipping through like the first 10 episodes or something. And then I'm now like halfway through season 2 in like a couple of days.
So you're full Stockholmed at this point.
Well, I guess because I've watched like a huge chunk of them. I have found a couple of redeeming qualities to it.
Yeah, I think that's as close as you're going to get.
Yeah. Like, so I mean, it's not to say there aren't good episodes. There are some good episodes that are kind of fun. Like, there's even one that should technically be like a shit episode that I actually kind of enjoyed, which was one where T'Pol tells the story of like her grandmother who came to Earth in like the 50s and had to like sort of assimilate into human culture for a while whilst they were being picked up like by like passing Vulcans, because they basically come to investigate Sputnik, and I'm pretty sure they get some details about like how long Sputnik was actually in space for, but it's Star Trek Enterprise. If they get anything right, that's a plus. But that was actually an alright little episode, and there have been like a few good ones. But I saw the worst episode of the show, which what's widely referred to as it, which is the an episode called "A Night in Sickbay," which is awful and bad, and is largely based around lampshading the fact that Archer bringing his dog on board is a really bad idea for like 15 different reasons.
Yeah.
Because it's a fucking like experimental, like the first Warp 5 ship. And they're going exploring places. So, of course, you'd bring your fucking dog with you that you can bring down onto planets, and it can piss on sacred trees.
Bursted.
Yeah, and it can get chest bursted. And also, you're keeping a dog in a small, like, confined space where it can't go outside for large periods of time. Like, that's...
I'm guessing they didn't even have holodeck technology at this point.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, you can't even pretend that the dog is outside.
No.
It's like, hey, dog, let's just lock you inside. It's like... Data's cat makes sense, because cats don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the Enterprise D is significantly larger than the NX-01.
I was just thinking that.
It's actually bigger than the Enterprise E in terms of internal volume.
Again,
like,
I was just about to say that, actually.
It's something that's stupid, like nearly twice as big in that regard, but the Enterprise E is a lot longer.
So you said internal volume, I just want to make a your mum joke.
What to your mum is like the Enterprise D, huge internal volume.
That is such a specific fucking joke.
Anyway, but yeah, so I got through like the worst episode, and I also got through one which I actually kind of think might be even worse. I think it's called something like 2 Days, 2 Nights, where they just go to the fuck planet, which is Riser.
Okay. Riser the fuck planet.
And they just...
I really feel that that's there just so fanfiction writers and smart writers can just sit there and just have, like... So, how could I get away... I mean, I appreciate the holodeck, but, like, how could I get away with, like, Riker fucks through Riser? Although, to be fair, dibs on that title.
Yeah, that's the name of your manuscript you're submitting.
Riker fucks through Riser.
And they're like,
that's a working title.
And they're like, we don't make The Next Generation anymore. And you're like,
no,
I don't
you will.
care.
You will. When you read my manuscript, Riker fucks through Riser.
You'll be forced to make it.
Yeah, you'll have to.
But yeah, that episode is I think the worst one I've seen because nothing of consequence happens in it. It's basically...
It's a story about Riser. Does anything ever...
Yeah, sometimes things happen.
Okay.
Like, Riser stories aren't inherently always awful. They're not like DS9 Mirror Universe episodes. But there's just something about it where it's just Archer pissing around in his fucking apartment. Hoshi gets laid, and fucking Tucker and Malcolm get fucking catfished. It's really fucking boring. Like, the way I'm saying
that sounds like a fucking Neighbours episode.
Like,
I ain't gonna lie.
What I'm saying there at least makes it sound like something happens that's interesting in it somewhere. Nothing interesting happens in it. It's fucking awful. But
I'll have to ask you to try and be a bit more like direct, because you're obfuscating your point there. I think you're trying to save a bunch of people's feelings.
What?
It was fucking terrible, and I hated every minute of it.
But there are a couple of points about the show that I do kind of like, and I'll mention them now for fairness.
Okay.
One is that I do kind of like that as it's going through, and this is something which I don't notice until you watch them like in one huge chunk, as opposed to, like, say, if you watch them every week, which the first time I watched, like, a lot of them was back in the day when it first came out, and I originally gave up on it. But there's a lot of, like, references to things that would later become standard in Star Trek, but, like, referencing the origins of it. So there's, like, an episode where the armory officer, Malcolm, is... like, talking about when we get, like, attacked, our response is pure hot dog shit. And he stops just short of using those exact words. Because Malcolm is a bit of an acerbic gentleman. And so he's like, we need to have, like, a system where when we think there's a problem, we can just activate and it'll, automatically polarize the hull plating, engage the weapons, and get everyone to know they need to get to their stations, like, immediately. Basically saying we need a red alert, but
shit's fucked alarm.
Yeah, and he's like, so we need like a battle stations thing, and Archer's like, okay, sure, run this by the staff and see if it'll be okay. But don't call it battle stations. That's not why we're out here. And so there's a joke made like later on of he's trying to like run ideas by someone of like, maybe you can call it like priority red or something. And the guy he's talking to like loses his shit and is like, look, I don't care about this stupid Reed alert that you've got going, because Malcolm's surname is Reed. So it's like, it's a terrible joke. But they do stuff like that throughout the episodes of is trying to establish the things that would later become commonplace, and I find that kind of interesting. The other thing is a weird amount of like in episode continuity to previous episodes when they don't have to. So, like, there's obvious like episodes that will have direct correlations with something, like there's two-parters here and there, and that and Star Trek's kind of always had that. Well, I don't think original series actually ever had a two-parter, but TNG onwards had two-parters, so that's one thing. And DS9 obviously went like pretty heavy serialization in its later series, but there's lots of little things in Enterprise where they'll just reference the events of previous episodes when they would be relevant. So a good example is the pilot Mayweather. They basically find this. Well, they get like a huge chunk of the ship blown out in an episode by Romulan mines. It's actually the first time they encounter Romulans. So the next episode, they need to repair that, and they find this like automatic repair dock thing that sort of repairs the stuff, but kind of kidnaps Mayweather to be part of its weird computer brain.
Fair enough.
And they rescue him and blow the thing up. But a few episodes later, he comes in for completely unrelated reasons, complaining of a headache, which leads to the plot of the rest of the episode. But they mention, like, oh yeah, so you've just got a headache, but we will check you out properly because you were hooked into that fucking brain-computer nonsense. So that it might be residual effects from that. So it's like that. So between like those 3 episodes, there's like a through route of they go there because of this reason, and we're going to check you out for this reason, and the reason they check him, and by checking him out, they actually figure out what's going on. So it's like the episodes have like a continuity between each other, but they're not. It's not like a straight through line. It's not like the one story. It's little stories that all have little connections, and that's kind of cool actually, because it means you could watch them out of order and it'd be fine, or you could just catch one here and there, but you also can watch them in order and get more from it. So actually, pretty good. Only other minor thing to mention is I've started reading Inquisitor, the Ian Watson book that we were warned about.
Maybe you should give a bit of a summary for those who are blissfully unaware.
Okay, so this is it's one of, if not the first, Warhammer 40,000 novel. It's about an Inquisitor and his retinue. And we were warned about this when Alpha came on the podcast.
Yes.
That it is a den of scum and villainy and is where a lot of weird sex shit from.
Basically where people think that Slaanesh is literally only about the fucking.
Yeah, this book is at least partially to blame for that interpretation. Actually, to be fair, partially. Well, the original Realm of Chaos book, when it talks about Slaanesh, is a lot more sex-heavy, has to be said. The modern stuff, which is more excess. Partially. But yes, I won't go into detail on what I've read of Inquisitor, because I'm only a few chapters through. I've read the first 5 chapters. And I will undoubtedly come back and say more, because from what I've read, good lord, I will have things to say about this. But there's one bit that I don't even want to say, because this is ostensibly supposed to be a fun time for people as a podcast, and the implications of what goes off and how they straight up don't even let the implications lie. They straight up say what it is like, oh, that's gross.
So could you maybe not?
I'm not going to.
So, thank you.
That's what I was saying that I wasn't going to.
Good.
But now I want you to.
No!
I'll explain to you afterwards, Matt. I'll explain when you're older.
Yeah.
Diagrams.
Lisa.
2 hours older is enough.
Yeah. When you're 2 hours older, you can hear about the horrors of Ian Watson. But yeah, the story that Mother Gullet from Codex Assassins is mentioned in that, so that's where that comes from. But the big thing is that the squad is like this Inquisitor and his retinue is the Inquisitor, a squat, a navigator, and an assassin.
And their adventures on Riser.
No. But everyone wants to fuck the assassin. Oh god, they want to fuck the assassin. Everyone wants to bone down hard with the assassin, and every line of dialogue that anyone says in relation to her is pretty much, well, be nice if I could do a fuck with her, wouldn't it?
I'm guessing she's written like, the assassin breasted into the cafeteria.
I mean, yeah.
She boobily took her meal and seductively sat down, splaying her legs wide for all who could see her delicious fucking mango. In brackets, the no-no zone.
The Inquisitor does give her sensual head pats.
What is this, a fucking anime?
She's disguised.
I'm gonna pet you like a dog, and you love it.
She's disguised as a gene stealer at the time.
I don't care.
She's like taken polymorphine and like morphed.
Polymorphine is literally the fucking fetishist's best friend. It's horrible. Fuck off, polymorphine.
I assume it was a gene stealer with tits.
Oh god, can you imagine just like like breastingly boobily through the gene stealer cult?
Well, for at least half of it, whilst she was disguised as this, she was not wearing anything but pants.
As in like pair of trousers or like a little tiny leather thong?
As in underwear.
So I'm just imagining a gene stealer with like Primark like flamingo pants on.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's amazing.
That's Primark the shop, not Primark the...
No, yeah, Primark is in PI. Yeah, I did not... Yeah.
The Primark's underpants are actually pretty huge.
They're huge.
Because now I'm imagining all Primarks wear flamingo pants, which is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and they all come from Primark, the Primark store.
Well, that's a new art project for us.
Drawing all of the Primarks in their underwear.
In Primark underwear.
In Primark underwear.
We can draw, Ferrus Manus in those cockatoo socks you got from Primark.
They're really good socks. I like them very much.
For those outside the UK, Primark is a clothes shop. Just before everyone's like, what on earth is happening?
Yeah,
that's a fair point.
Primark. Like, what are they fucking... What?
I used to work at Primark. It was a fresh hell.
Yeah, all those fucking giant men coming in and demanding underwear from you.
You know...
Being the sons of the fucking emperor or some shit. You ain't that good.
You joke, but that's not too far away from the truth. But yeah, so Inquisitor by Ian Watson. It's fucking weird. If you wish to read it, you can pick it up remarkably cheap for saying it's a book from like 1993.
I wonder why that is. Oh well, probably.
Or is it 1991? I can't remember actually. What year did it come out? It doesn't matter. I think it's 91 actually. Cause
it's here and we all have to deal with it.
Because it's Rogue Trader era. Which is why basically none of the information in it is like canon, and there's lots of nonsense in it. But yeah, that is me done. That is all I have done. So I will now pass over to Snipe. What have you been doing?
What have I been doing?
And I don't know why I said this. It's just strange tone of voice.
You did say weird. That pretty strange.
My intonations were all over the place.
Right. Okay. Would you mind if I?
I guess you can start. Yeah.
Sure?
I'll just drink my tea.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I figured. How many hours sleep you had?
Not enough.
Okay, well, been streaming with Longfang on Thursdays. Finished up Resident Evil 6.
What's the name of your Thursday night stream?
Uncooperative Thursdays.
Hey.
Yeah, it's good. But yeah, we finished Resident Evil 6, and it was terrible.
Good.
I mean, to be fair, the way it went through Leon and Helena's campaign, which is like the first one. You think you can pick out of order, so we went in order of appearance. That was fun and goofy bullshit.
Yeah, I remember you saying how much you liked that last time.
It was. I think it's kind of a bit fucked because comparatively to the other ones, it is so good compared to the other ones.
Is this like when I say a good episode of Star Trek Enterprise and it's just because the other ones are so bad?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it has some genuinely goofy things which make Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Chris and Piers one. I love Chris Redfield. I try to hide it as best I can, and I'm really good at it. So I thought I'd enjoy his campaign the most. Holy fuck. That one was difficult, because it was just basically like Call of Duty But yeah, so with the part of Eastern Europe and everything, which I've already covered anyway.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a slog. And then there's Jake and Sherry's campaign, which is just like... It feels a little bit like fan fiction. How it's like, there's a moment where they literally get captured and spend 6 months in an underground research facility in China. And they don't seem to bother that much. No one else, their superiors, don't really give a fuck.
Well, I mean, I guess that's better than the Beyond Two Souls thing, where they spend 6 minutes in an underwater Chinese research facility.
Yeah. But no, they're just like chilling, and like Sherry has basically 2 bits of A4 paper covering her.
Oh, is it like the covering of Alice from the first Resi movie?
I'm wondering, did they copy that? Which is really fucking bad. But yeah, it's basically you can see my side boob and a little bit of my bum. And Jake's just got a nice comfy pair of pyjama trousers on.
I was hoping he'd just have a single piece of A4 paper over his dick.
No, that's A5. He's got a post-it note. With square bracket, penis, end square bracket.
Who is Jake?
Jake Mueller is, spoiler alert, he's Albie Whiskers' boy son.
Oh, okay. I had heard a rumour about that. I didn't know if it was true.
Yeah, he's just...
I'd say one...
And he's a complete twat.
I'd say, major spoilers, but it's Resident Evil 6. Who gives a fuck?
No, apart from that one guy on Twitter who vanity searches Resident Evil 6.
Yeah.
He's the Resident Evil 6 gremlin. I don't want to say fairy because that sounds like I'm being really insulting. But like, yeah, you basically, if you tweet about Resident Evil 6 being shit, he'll appear and tell you why you're a fucking idiot and you're wrong.
He sounds fun.
He's not fun. He's just like, can't accept that maybe someone has valid criticism about a game that isn't very good. Doesn't mean that, like, I think less of this person for enjoying Resident Evil 6. It's just, I don't enjoy it. But yeah, so, and then there's like an honest-to-God part where they've literally been having horribly intrusive tests done on like, themselves by these, like, Chinese captors for 6 months. They haven't seen each other. So, and it's like a big fucking borderline stealth section you have to do. And it is a real pain in the fucking ass. It's horrible.
Having seen you play bits of that game, any part of it that would require stealth does not sound like something I want to be anywhere near.
It's like David Cage doing stealth. It was terrible.
Do you remember that stealth section from fucking Fahrenheit?
I try and forget.
Oof, that was rough.
And like they meet up in the locker room, and she's like, "Oh, Jake, it's you." And he's like, "Oh shit." And then he does like this, like such a Japanese kind of like, "Oh, you have a body. I'm gonna get really embarrassed about that right now." And she's like, "Oh no, the body that I have." It's like, okay, you have been underground in a Chinese research facility having horribly intrusive tests done to you for 6 months. If somebody can't deal with you in the sight of, like, I don't know, like a fucking surgical sex gown or whatever the fuck she's in.
The surgical sex gown,
yeah.
Yes.
If that even crosses your mind, you're being a fuckwit. If boobs are even on your brain, you're being a complete moron. Or if, like, it's like, decency has no place in desperation.
I think the problem there is that...
It's stupid.
Is that if they were to take that seriously and treat it with the actual weight that such an event would...
They don't, though. They just... then they get changed and then they just go.
No, if they did, then it would be way too heavy for a game like Resident Evil 6.
Okay, but when you're dealing with Chris's PTSD all over the place... And then you have, like, a full-on anime bullshit moment where you could just have, like, they did things to me. And it hurt a lot, I guess. Whatever, let's get changed. It would make way more sense than having a really cringy anime moment. I mean, that I'm harping on that a lot, but...
I'm not saying that they did that they did the right thing, just that I can sort of understand why they wouldn't do it the good way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but... You didn't play it. You don't know how fucking annoying this shit is.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, with because, like, Sherry's supposed to be, like... She's a BSAA agent. And she's basically played up as this fucking stupid little kid.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I get that she's young. But... Fucking hell. It's like, you get, like... Player 1 in the first campaign is Leon. Player 1 in Chris's is Chris. Player 1 in Sherry's campaign is Jake.
By the way, if you don't know, Sherry
Birkin is the daughter of a couple of research scientists, William Birkin being the big, bad tyrant that keeps fucking about with you in Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, and she was in Resident Evil 2.
She was in Resident Evil 2. You could play as her for a very brief section where you get fucking stung by cockroaches. But yeah, so she's basically joined the BSAA and she's got all these cool antibodies and shit because of unpleasant things that happened in Resident Evil 2. So now she's being a super cool dude in the fight against bioterrorism, and she somehow takes a backseat to her own campaign.
Yeah.
It's a bit shit, and she is kind of... I get that they were trying to do like a rookie thing, but it just comes off as a bit shitty. But I mean, yeah, that campaign wasn't great. Then we got to Ada's bonus campaign. And, like, the Jake and Sherry one was a bit rough, and it got really quite shitty towards the end and a bit annoying. Ada's campaign, which they added later.
Did they?
They did.
Oh, I thought it was from launch.
No. And you can tell they gave no fucks. Like, legitimately. There was no effort put into this fucking whatever it is. So... Player 1 is Ada Wong. Player 2 is some random fucking, like, agent.
Yeah,
you just get some random agent.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he's listed as Agent. And he literally, because Longfang was playing him, he would teleport to me, because Ada has a grappling hook. So I'd grapple up, and then he'd just be like, right behind me, and like you'd see him pop into existence.
Would I be right in thinking that, unlike the rest of the game, this was not really designed with co-op in mind?
I don't think it was designed with co-op in mind, and I don't think it was designed.
Ah, okay.
So it's like it's a shooting gallery, but all of your weapons are shit. You have like a crossbow and like an assault rifle, and it's just you fight like. They just put a bunch of the same enemy in there, and you just walk through the corridors of a tanker shooting them all.
Oh.
And then there's a part where it kind of capsizes and you have to go underwater, and it basically gives you a massively high breath gauge, which is like earlier on in the Leon campaign you had to go underwater, and you didn't really have anything like that, and you couldn't hold your breath for very long, and it was a bit of a shit.
Mm.
And then there's this one where it's like you have to be underwater for like 2 seconds, and your breath gauge could probably last you a full minute.
Okay.
Yeah. Then, and spoiler alert, there's more than one Ada, because apparently one wasn't fucking enough. And she starts having a go at you, like, you have to, like, do, like, this wave survival, basically, while you're waiting for something. And she's like, oh, Ada Wong, blah, 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 fucking whatever. We didn't really put much thought into this part of the game. And then you actually have to press the action button to respond to her. Repeatedly.
Oh, good.
And it's like, what the fuck is this now? This is like they sat there and went, this is going to be so fucking boring for the player. And someone was like, yeah.
We need to engage them in the cutscene quick, make them press a button every now and again.
Yeah, basically. It was, honestly, we didn't even finish it. It honestly crushed our fucking souls. It was so bad. It was horrific.
Yeah, I was surprised because you'd, like, gone through the whole thing and, like...
And gone, no, I ain't giving up.
Fair play to you guys for actually, like, going through the whole game, but then you reached the fucking horror of that, and then you just stopped.
No,
and I don't blame you.
That was fucking... It was horrific. It was awful. So we had to just call that a fucking day.
Yeah,
Speaking of Resident Evil, been playing a lot of Resident Evil 5. I really like that game. It's not Resident Evil 6.
It's funny. I've noticed, like, when Resident Evil 5 first came out, everyone was like, this is shit. I hate it.
But it's
the worst. It's, like, such a terrible Resident Evil. But over time, like, people's opinions have, like,
it's because 6 came out and they were like, we're sorry. We love Resi 5. It's amazing. Best game 20 fucking... When did it come out? 2013?
Something like that.
Yeah. Best game ever. So good.
It's probably actually earlier than that. Like, Resi 5's, like, full 360 era.
Yeah.
And it was early on.
Yeah, because we had it on the 360 and then it blew up.
Yeah, well, that's 360s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just what happens.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. But no, I've been really, really enjoying that. We were going to, like, Longfang and I were going to stream that for Uncooperative Thursdays. Then the best friends just started doing a Let's Play of it. We were like, fuck this, we'll leave it for a while. I'm sick of them stealing our ideas. Like, get your own ideas, super best friends. More like super rip-off Snipe and Wib and Longfang friends.
Yeah.
You jerks. This is a real discourse that I'm genuinely mad about. So yeah, oh my god. I wanted to play it so badly.
Yeah.
Especially after 6, because Jesus Christ, I needed something. And we're on our second playthrough now, and I'm going through with Sheva, who I love. I fucking love Sheva. And I've got myself a fully upgraded infinite ammo PSG-1, and that's all I really need.
That sounds like a perfectly balanced weapon item for a survival horror video game.
Yeah, well, I mean, action horror.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It hasn't been survival horror for a while.
Yeah.
It's like Resi 4 was sure to, like, seal that coffin, which is not a bad thing.
Oh, yeah, well, to be fair, like, I tend to not like survival horrors a lot, but action horrors I can quite like.
Yeah, no, like Dead Space.
Dead Space is
great.
Yeah, perfect example.
But yeah, no, so I've really been getting into Resident Evil shock horror. It's, like, I did say on Twitter, but, like, it has been really nice, like, getting excited about a game franchise, or just getting excited about anything, because, struggling with depression and that. It's really hard, if not impossible, to enjoy things.
Yeah.
And being on this like suddenly I'm like super into Resident Evil, and I'm just like so happy because I'm enjoying it so much, and I'm happy because I'm enjoying it.
And I mean, I guess it's not like there isn't a shortage of Resident Evil games for you to play.
Exactly. I may have started with the shittiest one.
Yeah, you started.
And that got you into it.
Dude, I always had a weird draw to Resi 6. I don't know why, but I'm glad that that's kind of been nipped in the bud.
In fairness,
Thank you, Ada.
In fairness, I got into kaiju movies by watching King Kong Escapes.
That's like the worst thing in the world, though.
Which is pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, I can't really judge you too harshly for that.
Yeah. But no, just, oh god, loving Resident Evil 5. Cannot get enough of that. Really enjoying it. But yeah, kind of like, I want to get into the older ones. Like, I have remake. And there's, like, because Resident Evil 2 Remake is coming out about next January. It's supposedly coming out.
Ah, okay.
And I don't think I'll be able to play that because that looks way too fucking scary. I'll come back to it in, like, after 5 years or so have passed. I'll see it, because I've been getting better with horror games. In fact, I actually completed a horror game on, like, stream.
Yes, you did.
I did. Which is so not like me.
To be honest, the fact that the last 2 streams we've done, I beat Super Hot on one, and then you've beaten this game on another one. That means, like, we've had a couple of streams where we've just beaten games, which is so rare for us.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, though. But yeah, I played Layers of Fear on stream. I don't know if you've heard of it, Drumblebee.
I have not. Laser Fear.
Layers of Fear.
Oh, okay.
Making fun of my accent, you bastard.
Well, I just thought that Laser Fear sounded like a good game.
I mean, yeah, it does, and I kind of wish I'd played that as well, but that's beside the point.
Okay, that sounds more like a horror game title rather than what I thought it was going to be.
Laser Fear. I am afraid of lasers, and they are everywhere.
Now in my head, lasers became neon, and then in my head it was a cyberpunk horror game.
Yeah,
definitely. Cyberpunk horror goes so well. They go so well together.
Then you can go full Cthulhu punk.
Oh yeah. Oh, then you've got like the whole like body horror shit going on. Get some Cronenbergian weirdness. But yeah, Layers of Fear has none of that. Really, it's about a painter who's basically so riddled with PTSD and other mental like illnesses, and he's a complete bastard trying to finish a painting, and you get a lot of kind of like hallucinations and just spooky stuff. Kind of like there's a lot of usage of non-Euclidean geometry.
Well, I'd say it's more impossible space. Really.
More impossible space, I guess. So like the house is constantly kind of shifting and changing, and like you'll walk into one room, turn around, and the door won't be there anymore, and then you turn around again, and it's a completely different room. It's very well done like that. Very spooky. There's no direct threats throughout the game, so like I don't think there's anything that kills you.
It's fundamentally really a sort of what people somewhat derisively refer to as a walking simulator.
Yeah.
But I did go off on this at length in the stream, but said that when it comes to horror, I think actually horror's a really good match for the walking simulator genre.
Yeah. As long as it's utilised properly.
Because once you start fighting it, it becomes less scary.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, like, because the thing is, especially with, I think I really cemented it for me when we played through Outlast and some of our original, like, our earliest streams we ever did.
Honestly, fuck Outlast.
Yeah. But the fact that you could die, and you would die repeatedly to the same enemies trying to do a certain thing, all the horror just dissipates from it, whereas when you can't die, you're just trying to get through something, it means that the developers can really finely cater to the player, where the player's going to be and what they're going to be doing to scare them and maintain the horror and really manage that, because they're much more in control of the actual experience, because you're just kind of walking forward. And obviously, like, from a gameplay perspective, there's not much to it, but I think for horror,
it's the narrative and the, like, there are a good bunch of psychological kind of horror cues there, and I think it's utilised very well. Because a lot of games on Steam, because Steam is now a garbage pile of fucking hot bullshit.
Yeah.
Just because, curation is for losers. there are a lot of just, I'll make a map and then you walk in one direction and then like a Unity asset will jump out and scream at you.
And then you will be scared.
And then you'll be scared, because that's what horror is. This does have a few jump scares, but they are very much earned, I feel.
It builds up the tension.
It builds up tension to where it's basically like you don't really want to move, you kind of... and then something will pop out and shout at you and you'll be like, fuck, okay, that was well done.
And I think the fact that a game like that can still make you jump shows that the fact that there is no player death does not mean that you don't feel threat.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I still felt threatened throughout the entire fucking game. It was terrifying. But, like, yeah, no, it's just like, it ticks a lot of boxes and it does a lot of this stuff well. Which a lot of them don't. So, yeah, like, I bought the DLC, which probably shouldn't have. But I've been planning to write a video about it.
For reasons.
It might take me a while because it's kind of a difficult subject, but I'll give it my best shot.
A very personal thing.
Very personal kind of subject. So, yeah. No, Layers of Fear, good. Very, like, spoopy game.
It was, I would say I wasn't playing it, you were the one who was actually playing through on stream.
People loved, like, donating and subscribing because there's big noises. So I spent the whole thing getting jump scared by fucking Twitch chat.
Yeah.
And I can't be mad because they're basically people providing providing rent and food for us. So, you know.
Yeah. And the worst one was someone like donated some bits and McCree's high noon thing went off.
It was a really tense part where I was going up to a door. And then the door literally got kicked open by an unseen force, and at that exact moment, I just heard, "It's high noon," and I freaked the fuck out. I was like, holy fucking shit. And, like, there's this whole narrative of McCree just wanted to meet me. He kicked in the door, shouted his catchphrase, and then got nervous and jumped out the window.
I seem to remember a while ago, I think it was Slow Beef said on Twitter that he was going to do a stream, and I don't know if he ever did this, but of Alien Isolation, where he'd change all the donation, like bit donation noises to be the various noises that the Xenomorph makes.
Oh!
So whilst he would be playing, he'd keep hearing the Xenomorph if people donated so they could screw with him.
That sounds really cool, actually.
And a very cunning way to get bits out of people.
Yeah. But, I mean, to be fair, that's not really cunning. That's kind of a... Yeah, you know, it's more of an incentive to chuck at the tip jar. Because, I mean, that's...
No malice.
Yeah,
not trying to insinuate
no
malice.
Shade.
No.
But yeah, no, that's like, God, people winding me up. And then, like, we stopped halfway through so you could go out and get, like, lemonade.
Come on. We live, like, fucking 5 minutes, literally, like, a minute from an off license. So, during a stream, I could just literally run out and go get something, be back in, like, 3 minutes.
And it was very, very nice of you, thank you. But yeah, no, Layers of Fear, can recommend. Very good, very fun. I'm trying to think if I've done anything else. I don't think I have.
I think that's probably it.
That's pretty much it. I'm going to be playing a new game with Longfang today on Uncooperative Thursday.
Is it going to be a game you like, or are you playing another game that you don't like?
I'm playing a game that I'm not a massive fan of. But
why do you do these things to yourself?
Okay, this is the thing. It's funny bad, and I get to hang out with, like, my mate and just shoot the shit and chat, and we can all make fun of how bad the game is. So it's kind of like a bit of catharsis.
You see, I suggested they should play Dead Space 3, which
we are going to do.
Which is a bad game, but is at least mechanically fun to play.
Yeah, well, you say that.
Well, mechanically, there's nothing wrong with it. It just plays like Dead Space 2. It's just...
Speaking as a right-hander, yeah, sure. Organising it so I can play it, like, the context sensitivity fucking ruins everything. Anyway, Drummer Matt.
Yes.
Video games?
Yes.
Things you have done?
I have played more than one video game.
Good lord.
More than
Snap.
2 video games. I know. It's
more than 3?
No, not more than 3.
Oh, okay.
Let's not get too carried away.
Okay, yeah, come on. It's not like we have a gaming channel, right?
Well, when you hear what the third one was, you'll explain why I haven't played any since then.
Okay.
First up, there's been a new Slime Rancher update. Which I don't know if you guys have seen, or I guess specifically Wib. Did you ever play it, Snipe?
I played a little bit of it, but
I think you were playing in the video.
I think I was playing the video.
I think I remember you playing in the video, but I don't know if you played for fun after that or.
No. I mean, it's a cute little game, but it's not massively my speed.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's definitely a Wiblet game.
Yeah. The new update has drones, so you can like automate bits.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's not as good as it's good. And it kind of works. It's a bit limited, and so you first off, the drones are bees, which are just adorable. But they are drone bees because they're drones, and the worker bees do it. So apart from the slight bee inaccuracy of drone bees not actually doing the work, I am sick of
this bee inaccuracy.
But other than that, no, they're quite adorable. They're sort of like the same sort of size as the toys that you can get to put in the slime pit things.
Yeah.
They're that sort of size, and they float around, and they're water powered, so every morning you just have to put a bit of water on their little base station, which is a flower, obviously.
Okay.
And then they last for the whole day. You can put, you can get the decorations for your slimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get those and put them on the bees, so my bees have googly eyes.
Excellent.
And moustaches, depending on what role they're doing.
Sensible.
What do the mustachioed bees do? What role do they
serve?
So
the what you can basically, the main functions it's quite good. It's like there's like three boxes that you select. So you select what resource they're going to be moving somewhere, and then you pick where they're moving it from and where they're moving it to. So it's limited by the fact that you can only have 2 drones in each section of your ranch, and when you tell them to do things, so like I've got one. Basically, so my 2 at each part. I've got one of them picking up food and putting it into the auto feeders to feed my slimes.
Yeah.
And then I have one that's picking up the plorts from the slime pits and sending them to the market straight away. But it's slightly limited, so you have to, when my food delivery ones are going, you could say, okay, I want you to move fruit, or I want you to move veg. But you can't say I want you to move all sorts of food. So I basically had to go through and reorganise my entire ranch, so that in each area, there's only things. So now in each area, I have 2 or 3 slimes all fed by either all veg or all fruit. And
to be fair, I always used to do that anyway because I could never be bothered to make it more complicated. So I'd just crossbreed everything so everything could be fed with vegetables or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's so I crossbred mine so everything was fed by their favourite, which ends up just being messy. So I've done that now, but I had to go through and slightly rearrange my entire ranch.
Just slightly.
It actually wasn't anywhere near as bad as I was expecting it, and I got out a bit of paper and I genuinely wrote down all of the slime combinations and which one, or all of the slime types, what their favourite food was, and then worked out the most efficient way of crossbreeding them to and actually I accidentally done most of what I needed to do anyway.
Did you selectively breed all of these things just for convenience?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, I mean that's what farming is anyway.
Yeah, that, and so I've still got I've still got every slime type covered in my ranch, and then all my spare gaps are done with the more profitable ones, and then they're all automatically fed and they're all automatically harvested. So
now you can just walk away from the computer if you want.
Yeah, kind of. But I
always find that fascinating with games like that where the end goal is not having to play the game.
Yeah.
It's It's like the ludicrous Tech-It Minecraft.
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks to you guys playing Tech-It. I built a nuclear reactor that does everything, and I don't need to do shit. Why are you playing the game? Oh no.
My absolute favourite thing was when I realised, okay, so I have a nuclear reactor that powers a computer that can make me baked potatoes.
Yeah. That's every man's dream.
Yeah.
So yeah, I set it up so that it was all automated, and it's not. You still have to go round every morning and then water your bees, which is a thing. I guess you're technically watering the flowers because you water the flowers the bees land on, but watering your bees sounds better.
Honey, I've got to water the bees.
I was 3 or 4 tiers off maxing out the the thing where you basically give them a bucket of money and they give you some more colours.
Yeah.
Which they admit in the game is just a way of being a money drain or money sink or whatever.
They straight up just say there is no purpose to this. Just do it to show off.
You have so much money. Yeah.
But I was a few off that, and I still had a couple of there was a few achievements I needed to get, and there was one side thing I needed to finish off to unlock the last bit of the ranch. So I was like, right, okay, I need to sit and let it do its thing to get the money to max out that one anyway. So I just spent the time. So I finished all of the achievements except... Well, there's 3 achievements that are linked to the rush mode, which I've never played.
Oh, I've tried that. It does not match with the way I play the game.
No, likewise. So I haven't bothered. I've never even tried it. And then there's 2 achievements. There's one which is maxing out, finishing the Slimepedia.
Yeah.
Of which there's that one vegetable you need to find, which spawns in one random location every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I can't be bothered to just literally randomly wander around. I know there's set spaces where it could spawn, but it's basically everywhere on this one area. And I was like, I just can't be bothered to just walk around randomly until I see it, because whatever.
Yeah.
So because of that, I haven't got that last achievement.
That's fair.
But I can accept that, to be honest. And I unlocked all the bits of the ranch, and now I've bought all of the wasted money upgrades. So yeah, but it was fun. It's fun. It was like, it came out I think last Tuesday, and I'd finished all I wanted to do on the day in a few hours with it.
Dang.
But it's a free update, so like it's still fun to have a bit of a mess about with and just get your head around how it works. And...
Well, I mean, it's getting you, something to get you to play a game that you'd previously seen everything in. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Something new.
Exactly. So if you've still got it installed, I recommend jumping on for a few hours.
Yeah, I might do. To be fair, it's not very big. I might just install it again. I would assume it's got Steam Cloud saving. Otherwise, that would.
Presumably?
To be fair, most
no
things
idea.
do. So.
Yeah, I would assume it does. I hope it does. Because it's sometimes just games you would expect to have it don't. It's like fucking Dark Souls 3 doesn't have it, but like Dark Souls 2 does.
Oh, that's annoying.
I think Dark Souls 1 does as well.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
But Dark Souls 3 doesn't, which I found out like when reinstalling everything on our machine like a while back and being like, oh, okay, that's the one thing I didn't back up because I assumed it was Steam clouded.
Yeah.
Like,
well, we know now.
Yeah.
Oh, nightmare. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's worth having a mess about anyway.
Yeah. Cool.
I finished Dishonored.
It
was
nice.
and I say this in a quite good way, a pleasingly short game.
I think some games do benefit
it was
from being
like,
quite short.
I don't know how much I paid, like 15 hours or so, like, I don't know. It wasn't that long, but it was quite...
Relatively short, 15 hours.
Well, yeah, but compared to, like,
short.
Fallout, which I put in, like, 100 hours or whatever.
Okay, yeah, compared to Fallout, I guess.
Yeah, and compared to those,
yes.
which is recently, seemingly what I've been playing is the longer ones, which end up being... Because before that, it was GTA 5, was my, main go-to game. And they just take so long, which I really enjoy, fine. But because I'm trying to, like, tick a few off and get through a few, it was like, you know what, I enjoyed this while it lasted. I did as much as I wanted to do on it, and now it's done. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gameplay I really enjoyed. I think I mentioned last time I was doing a low chaos run, so I was like avoiding killing people. I managed to not kill any of my main targets. I did that the sneaky way of dispatching them rather than just killing them.
Hitmanning them.
Yeah, which was satisfying. The story itself is very, very paint by numbers, pick a generic story.
It does strike me as definitely a more gameplay heavy kind of game.
Yeah, I mean, spoilers for the next 10 seconds, so just put your fingers in your ears a sec. The obvious plot twist is super, super obvious. Like, you could tell it's coming from about halfway through the game, and then it gets like the last towards the end, and it happens to the point where they choreograph it so much just before it happens. I was like, well, obviously this is a double bluff then. And it was sort of it was so beyond obviously going to happen. It was beyond obviously going to be a plot twist. And then it just happened, and it was just like, oh, well, that's incredibly disappointing.
Sometimes the biggest twist is no twist at all.
Yeah, especially when they choreograph it that much, and they work so hard to tell you that it's going to happen. And I was like, I knew it's going to happen, but I'm intrigued I knew it wasn't going to happen. Well, I thought I knew. But I didn't know exactly which direction they were going to go, and I was like, okay, this could... And then it just happened. Which doesn't make me think less of the game, really, because I still enjoyed playing it, but it was a little bit like, oh, guys, come on.
That reminds me a bit of the twist for the like halfway through segment of Star Trek Discovery when there's
spoilers, maybe?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to say what it is.
Okay.
Like, but just
one of my biggest pet peeves is someone. It's like your mum always does this to me. Where she'll be like, have you seen this movie? I'm like, no, but I really want to. And she'll go, this person does this. And I'll be like, fuck you. Or she'll go, ooh, the twist. Watch it. It's like, don't tell me there's a twist.
Yeah.
Because that actively ruins my fucking enjoyment.
Well,
I mean, drama about that's not aimed at you.
I feel like I'm not. It's so like I don't know. It's just it's not clever.
So broad.
Also, it's a really old game.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a thing in Discovery where it was they basically built something up as like an obvious thing that was going to happen, and then they like broadcast it and telegraph this thing so blatantly that you almost get to a point where you're like, are we gonna not do it because it's getting so blatant? And then it just does it, and you're like, oh
yeah. So this sounds like exactly the same.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless of that, I still enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
I'm glad.
The second one's in my wish list for whenever that's on a decent offer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. Apart from its spelling.
The spelling
it can't help but be massively incorrect.
The spelling is completely unacceptable, and it shall not be allowed.
Terrible.
The third game I've moved on to, which is a game I've played before, but not for about 20 years, I think. Final Fantasy VII.
You are playing the best video game.
Yes, I know, because like I think it was either 20 years or close to 20 years ago when I played it.
Jesus, that sounds nuts.
Well, it's from 97.
97, isn't it? Yeah, so it... And I don't think I played it brand new, but it was like, it was around then. It was back when I had my original PlayStation 1, not the PS1, because that's a different console.
Yeah.
At least they learnt their lessons and got better with their naming.
Yeah, Xbox.
Yeah, but I had a completely legal chipped PlayStation, and despite most of the games I had actually being legit, because it was such an early chip on our PlayStation, it wouldn't let you change discs, which is a bit of a nightmare for Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I remember those.
So I had to like get up to the point where it changed disc and then go around to a mate's house with my memory card and legit copy of the game because I just couldn't get any further.
Oh, dude.
Which is a bit of a nightmare. But I honestly can't remember how it finishes, which leads me to think, did I finish it? I feel like I must have done, despite the hurdles put in my way. I feel like I must have finished it, because why would I just stop? But at the same time, I honestly can't remember what happens. So I'm quite lucky.
Who's your standard party loadout? Who are your favourite characters?
I'm not really sure. I've only been playing... Well, it says about 6 or 7 hours, but the downside of playing an old game is that you can only save at save points. So if something happens and you need to pause the game, and the time tracker on the thing, on the pause menu, keeps going when it's paused.
I know.
So I think I'm only maybe 4 hours in. As opposed
Are you out
to
of Midgar yet then?
Yeah,
So
just left. Just left. I don't know how long that's supposed to take, but I'm about 7 hours in according to the in-game clock, because I had to leave it and go for dinner at one point because I played for literally about an hour without coming up across a save point. I was like, well, I'm not quitting, so... And then obviously I come back and in 5 minutes I found one, but you don't know we're going to do that, so...
Final Fantasy VII is the game that I have played the most in one day. I remember when because I had a thing where I realised I hadn't beaten it, and in about mid-2000s, I just sat down and beat it. I think it was after I just finished college, and so I had a few weeks before I started my first job.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'll beat Final Fantasy VII, and I just sat down one morning and played it for 10 hours solid.
Nice.
Then went and had dinner, and then played it until I went to bed as well, which was another 4 hours.
God, do you remember days like that? I did that with Metal Gear Solid, because of course I did.
Yeah.
It's just that was I remember being a lonely bullshit kid with undiagnosed mental illnesses, just coming home, getting shouted at, going straight to my room, and then just playing Metal Gear Solid for hours until 2 a.m. and then struggle to get up at 7 in the morning and then run out to school every fucking day. It's oh god, man, those nostalgia days.
So how are you finding the game playing it in 2018?
I mean, it's just great, isn't it?
It's so good. It's
obviously,
obviously
the graphics are 1997 graphics.
Photorealistic.
They were
even at the time they looked like shit.
Well, no, I remember at the time playing it, and the graphics of the actual bits that moved were pretty shit at the time, but the backgrounds and everything looked beautiful. I remember there being and the cutscene, the pre-rendered cutscenes and things.
Oh god, yeah.
At the time, fucking beautiful. Now, less so, obviously, because time and progress. Every time anyone releases a new phone, this is the most technologically advanced phone ever. It's well, yeah, because it's a year later. Like if they've gone backwards in technology, like that's
that
not,
would be kind of almost
thing.
impressive.
So like obviously, but I mean it doesn't take anything away from it. It's great, isn't it?
Oh, it just so much of that oozes nostalgia.
One, it didn't stop me from playing it, but it prompted me to play it now. Is picking up my controller back off you guys because I was like, I can't be bothered to play this with a mouse and keyboard or whatever the PC controls are.
God knows.
So doing it with a controller now, it's a bit annoying. You can't, because I'm using the 360 controller. You can't use the D-pad for directions, which is fine for running about, but in the battles and things, quite often you press down and you accidentally press left at the same or something at the same time as pressing OK, and you do something random. And because the remap thing, it's like, you know, so I had a couple of things where it was coming up to like one of the like bosses, and it says, okay, press switch to mix up your party and do things, and I'm just like, I can't remember which button switch is mapped to, so I end up pressing the wrong one, and the fight happens. I'm like, oh no. So there's been a couple of things like that. So I've got to post it on my monitor now, which says which button is mapped to which thing, just to remind me for things like that.
It reminds me of playing The Witcher 2. Jesus.
You have to do that. But yeah,
I mean, none of that takes away.
I've said it on multiple occasions. Final Fantasy VII is my favourite video game, so I'll be interested to see how you feel like when you've played through the whole thing. Because I mean, it's probably about 40 hours. I think
it's quite a hefty one. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, to be fair, like once you get past 7, like they just get longer and longer. So like I put like over 100 hours into Final Fantasy 12, and I didn't even like it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, they're real time sinks, those games, and yeah, I mean, I found that it's hard to say like how dated Final Fantasy VII is.
It's a little bit in terms of like, there's the bit obviously where I mean, this is all spoilers, but I mean, who hasn't played it really at this point, right? But okay,
if people haven't played it by now, they ain't gonna. But
I mean, nonetheless, spoilers ahead. There's a few bits, you know, when you do the cross-dressing bit, and it's just like there's a little bit, and then at some point it says like, I think Barrett calls you like acting like a retard and things. It's just like, oh, that. But it doesn't make it a worse game at all. You just got to, you know, it was made in 1997.
An older game.
And you've got to be aware of things like that, just for, you know, if you're not aware of past mistakes, you can't improve on them.
Yeah,
but. I don't think it's done with any malice or anything, so it doesn't make it a worse game or anything like that. It's just there's a couple of bits where it's just like, oh, okay, it's fine.
It's just a thing of the time. I always say, you know, like all art is like, it's made in the time it comes from, and you can't when you like play or watch or listen to something from another time, you have to like sort of compartmentalize sometimes modern sensibilities from that. Which is why even though there is things in there that like I would not be okay with in a game made today. It can still be my favourite game despite containing
that's the difference. I'm sure there's some people out there who are being like, oh, you know, political correctness, that people are wanting to stop us playing these old games. Like, no, that's not what it is at all. It's just you've got to be aware of things in the past, and then you don't repeat the mistake now. Like, that's the important difference. But yeah, it's great. I've no idea what my standard party is yet, because I've only just left.
The thing is, here's like completely legit pro tip here. If you don't have Sid in your party, you're playing it wrong.
I haven't met Sid yet, so.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't meet Sid for quite a while.
You don't, which means that everyone plays it wrong for a good while.
Yeah. So.
And he's not.
He's amazing.
Great.
Sid is great.
Yeah,
he's the best character.
I tend to have Ares in my party at the moment just because healing is useful to have.
Yeah.
So I tend to have me, a healer, and then someone else. I haven't decided who the someone else is yet. Does having people in your party affect? Because I know there's the whole dating relationship thing.
It does, I think, and like it depends on who you heal the most.
Okay,
it's tricky.
It's there, but it is so minor and only affects some very specific cutscenes. Okay. To my knowledge, I think you can effectively ignore that stuff.
Yeah, I had a bit of a look into it.
You'll get, like, the biggest one is who you take out with you when you get to the Golden Saucer.
Yeah.
Tifa, obviously.
If you really fuck up, you can take someone else random, and like I've seen people who've ended up with Barrett.
Yeah, I was going to say, I learned it's not random. It's you have to try really hard, but you can go on a date with Barrett.
Yeah.
Which I was like,
I mean,
looking when I had a bit of a nosy, and I was like, oh, that's a thing. I totally want to try and do that, despite Barrett being a little bit aggressive for me.
You don't like your boy's aggressive?
Well, he's just a little bit too. His heart's in the right place, but he's a
I
little
think
bit
he's
too
rough around the edges,
defensive, and then he turns that against people he likes, seemingly. And
he
could possibly do with learning how to use his indoor voice as well.
yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like, but then you have to basically make every decision in the game right to get Barrett, or wrong depending on your point of view.
Yeah. Because it was interesting because like when I played through it like years ago, I did it with a guide and like 100%ed everything.
Yeah.
But then when I went through it,
except for Ruby Weapon, of course.
Except Ruby Weapon was
that
the only
never
thing.
counts.
Because I beat the Emerald Weapon on my old when I played through it before, but I never did beat the Ruby Weapon because it's just fucking annoying.
It's just not fun.
See, I don't remember any of these things, which furthers my belief that I actually didn't finish it the first time. But it was a long time ago, so who knows?
Well, if you get into the weapons, then there'll be like one person who's beat fucking Ruby Weapon in like at least there will be knowledge of that person in any friend group. But like again, that's an extra thing they put in for the European games.
The American and European
the American
ones.
and European ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you beat Ruby Weapon, you can get a gold chocobo, and honestly, you kind of need one to beat it anyway.
To get that far in the game, you will have probably got Knights of the Round that you need a gold chocobo to get.
You know, I never got that on my playthrough.
Huh.
Never got it.
Well, it's quite good, and
I get that it's quite good, but yeah, never got that one.
Yeah. But yeah, be sure to get back to us with.
I will do. My other thing
Tales.
was I wasn't sure whether I was going to, like you just mentioned, play with a guide or just do it myself, and I was like tossing up the idea in my head for a while. I was like, well, do I want to because the first time I didn't play it with a guide. I was like, do I want to now do it? But I was like, you know what? Actually, I'm just going to do what feels right. I'm just going to do it, and if I miss bits, because it's such a long game, like I'm gonna have to get over myself of missing a slight side quest or missing.
Absolutely.
Honestly, the only thing that you really need it for is something like Temple of the Ancients or something.
There are
because
some
that
parts
place is a nightmare.
There's some parts that are a little annoying, and a guide is kind of
I might look up.
If you've told us this, we could have given you. We've literally got 2 copies of the guide.
When we moved in together, Wib had a copy of the guide, and I also did. So we have a really nice copy and a really fucking bullshit, torn up garbage copy that I had.
But yeah, because when I played it earlier this year, I did play through without a guide, and I thoroughly enjoyed playing it through without a guide. But I did remember loads of stuff and locations of stuff from playing it previously, so it wasn't strictly speaking, it wasn't a blind playthrough because I had beaten it before. So, but yeah.
Well, I'm going to stick at it without a guide for now, just because I'm quite enjoying it, and I can always play it again. Yeah.
Or you can do what I do and put in Final Fantasy VIII, play it for like 4 hours, and then go. Actually, instead, I think I'll just play Final Fantasy VII again.
Yeah.
Are you all right there?
I've just thought, what if you pronounce Rinoa's name like Quinoa?
What, Rinoa?
Yeah!
Good.
Okay, at over an hour recording is when the heat has finally got to Snipe and just all sense of decency has just fallen away.
I get this because of Rinoa.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, fuck off.
Alright, on the topic of lack of decency, I have 2 more things left to mention.
Okay.
2 films. So we watched Oscar-winning film, The Shape of Water.
Oh,
I really want to see that.
It is. I've heard stories that it's the fish fucking film, and I assumed it was just people joking.
No, they're not.
The people are not joking.
No, they are not.
It is literally just the fish fucking film.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's a fish man. It's a fish.
It's a fish man. Yes.
Yeah. So you can fuck a fishman. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's
as long as everyone's consenting, it's fine.
It's fine. It's a sexy retelling of The Shadow of Innsmouth.
Fucking jeez.
And like, yeah, if you need to ask questions about how biologically that works, you just get one hand action to explain it all, and then everyone's happy with it. So that's good. But it was good. Like
what, the fish fucking?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was good for the people involved. They made that painfully clear. It is a really well made, really well written, really well filmed and like choreographed and everything B movie. It's so bizarre. It should just be a B movie, but it's like beautiful and it's shot well and everything about it is good. Yeah. And I don't understand how they got the budget or how it happened.
Because Del Toro.
Yeah, but it's great.
It's like good.
Fucking weird, but
I think we need more weird media, honestly, because it's fun.
Yeah, it's so different to like normally Oscar films are isn't the film business so good? Let's make a film about that, and then the film business gives them an Oscar.
Yeah,
like
fine,
but yeah, this B movie won an Oscar.
I love it.
Yeah, I really like the idea of taking things that should probably, under normal circumstances, would not get a big budget and then giving them a big budget and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Because you can quite often create really interesting things there because that's, well, you're not just making another safe movie.
Yeah,
which,
it's not just a sequel. Or
yeah, and it's like, whilst, like, hey, going and watching, like, whatever the latest Marvel movie is or whatever, like, for the most part, a few exceptions to some movies, to some of them, but quite a lot of them are very safe movies.
Yeah.
Like, they are exactly what you expect. And, like, there's nothing wrong with that, but, like, a man cannot live on Marvel alone, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes he needs to see a fish get fucked.
Yeah. And then
Prince
have
Moore
a vague,
doesn't count.
sexy relation to boiled eggs.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, because
the most
every time
powerful
boiled eggs get
thing.
involved, so it gets sexy. So,
Oh.
This is like the Shyamalan like red balloon in The Sixth Sense, but it's a hard-boiled egg instead. Beautiful.
I've never actually seen The Sixth Sense, so in my head,
Every time there's
whatever
red,
I'm
it
thinking
shows
of,
that like there's a spooky
okay.
ghost nearby.
Because my initial thought was someone just fucking a balloon.
Yeah. That actually happens.
Because some people do get off on
and
balloon
Bruce
fucking.
Willis is just like, this is a bit weird.
okay.
Yeah.
No, enjoyed it. I mean, it's set up. So I'm just going to discuss through this is just the first scene, just to sort of set up the tone for the film, because we had no idea going in. Like I said, I'd heard it's called the fish fucking film, or it's not, but people call it that.
Yeah.
But I just assumed that was like at least an exaggeration, if not just a blatant joke. Mm-hmm. But the first thing you see in this film is we sat down and watched it, turned it on. You see the main character, and I've completely forgotten her name because it was a week or two ago we watched this. But she's at home. She puts some boiled eggs on to boil, sets an egg timer, gets in the bath, has a wank.
Okay.
And we were just like, this is going to be a different kind of film, isn't it?
Immediately like, oh,
like,
I
okay,
see.
right, fair enough.
Generally speaking, that sort of thing is always going to... It sets a tone.
Yeah, but we're just like, you know what? This is a great opening. Like,
so she gets in the bath.
yeah.
So she's gonna put hard boiled eggs on.
She takes the egg timer into like the bathroom, puts it on the like sink or whatever, and then gets in the bathroom and is like, right, I've got 5 minutes to kill.
Okay, but it takes like 7 minutes to boil an egg. So you get into the bath, have a wank, all within like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
That's fine. Then you'd have to get out of the bath
Yeah.
and get dry and everything. Then go and eat your hard boiled eggs or whatever.
Well, you see, they're not. They say they're there for her lunch the next day, so she just takes them off the boil, and then its job's are good.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. No, logistically, it's all fine.
Yeah. Del Toro thought about it.
I'm glad somebody did, honestly. I was worried about the bath.
He thought about the bath egg wank.
The bath egg wank. Oh, God, hello, podcast title. The bath egg wank.
I don't know, let's get demonetised with that.
Yeah, there'll be sense of the word wank. It's YouTube, dude. I'm pretty sure that, like, you just say, like, bum really loudly and you'll get demonetised.
Yeah.
Don't say that, we've actually been alright recently.
Touch wood.
I won't say anymore, but I recommend get obtaining a copy and watching it. It's
definitely.
thumbs up.
Will do.
On the complete opposite, it's my last quick point. My complete opposite end of the scale. Speaking of senseless Marvel sequels, I saw Ant-Man.
Oh,
and the Wasp.
Is it?
Oh, is it any good?
Yeah, entertaining. It's interesting, like, because after watching like the latest Avengers, which I won't mention, we discussed that before. Yeah. But after watching that and everything, the sense of like peril and the sort of everything's been escalating. The main issue that they have in Ant-Man is that he's under house arrest after buggering off to Germany in Captain America Civil War and doing the whole Accords thing. And while Captain America and whatnot went into hiding, he was just like, you know what, I've got a daughter, I don't want to go into hiding with her, so fuck it, I'll just be under house arrest. So the biggest peril that he's facing is basically he needs to get home in time for the people to check that he's still at home and he doesn't break his house arrest.
Okay.
And it's like, wow, this de-escalated the peril. So there is a baddie in things, and there is all that, but the main concern that he has throughout the whole film is making sure that every time they're about to go round to his house to check that he's still there, he gets back in time.
I will give...
it makes a nice... And then at the end, it does tie it into the new Avengers and things. And it does... In the post-credit scene, it actually links it up, which is quite a good way of doing it. But the main film is just like, you know what... It doesn't have to all be in massive doom and gloom, or universe ending or whatever doom and gloom.
I will say that I will give the Marvel movies credit for this. That on a couple of occasions, they've had to do this, where they've obviously ramped it up to 11 for an Avengers movie, and then they do a good job of some of the follow-up movies bringing it back down again. I remember after the Avengers 1, then we had Iron Man 3, and that's a much more a much smaller story compared to it, and it's about him.
It's Tony Stark dealing with his PTSD, basically.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's the best Marvel film, but they do what they do well. I think it got a lot of stick.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what? It doesn't always have to be, world-ending stuff.
At this point, world-ending is maybe an understatement.
Well, yeah.
Moving on.
But yeah, it's entertaining. It's not the best one by any means, and it's the first was better, I think. I mean, it was entertaining enough.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, and that's me done.
Okie doke.
I had things to say this week. Ta-da!
I'm proud of you.
Well
everyone,
done.
Round of applause for Drummer Matt. Yeah.
Everyone at home, give a clap.
In fact, I'm missing the next podcast. I don't know what you're doing in return, but I'm on holiday. So, but despite that,
think we're on holiday too.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Okay.
We'll just have to record it. We'll record a new podcast tomorrow. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
What have you been doing? I slept. I got groceries. The fuck do you want from me?
We'll figure something out.
Regardless of whenever the next podcast is that I'm in, I won't have much more to say because I'll just be playing Final Fantasy VII.
That's okay.
So you can just sit there and talk about Final Fantasy VII for a solid hour. I'd be happy. I mean, people at home would probably be bloody furious, but, we're the ones that are sitting here.
Your choice, audience, is I'll go back and play some more Overwatch or something, so enjoy the Final Fantasy talk while you can. Yeah, but that is all I have to talk about. So, shall we move on to some questions we've been sent in?
No.
Yes, we should. Ignore Snipe.
I was at Tiger the other day, and I put a bunch of stuff on the thing in front of the cashier. I was like, "Oh, can I have these, please?" And he went, "No." And I went, "Oh." He was like, "Yeah, no, not today, not for you." And I went, "Well, okay, that's fair."
Did he just
didn't
leave?
really think? No, I just went, "Oh well, I didn't really think this far ahead."
Oh, okay, then just turn around and leave everything there and just literally walk off.
He was joking with
I
me,
know.
but I was just I didn't know what to do. I was just like,
but I would have escalated the joke to the point where it was uncomfortable for everyone.
That's fair. No, I just turned around and was like, "Oh, I've never got this far," and he was like, "No one ever does." And then I just paid for my shit and left. It was great.
Actually, that reminds me, just in case the person happens to be listening to this, I'd just like to apologise to the bloke that works at our post office.
Oh, yeah.
Who is apparently a subscriber, so he recognised us. We're sorry that we might have been a bit weird. We were so not expecting.
It had been a long day. We'd walked a lot in the heat. And then to have someone be immediately "Oh, yes, Snipe and Wib." And be like, "What?"
I don't think we were rude, but I think we might have come
we
across
might have
as
looked like aliens from a different planet.
who don't know how to speak to people.
Yeah, which is partially true. But...
So I'm very sorry, Mr. Post Office Man, if you happen to be listening.
Good.
But yes, so questions. What email address should people send questions to if they wanted, Snipe?
Why do you always go and pick me? Only Drummer Matt at Snipe and Wib. @gmail.com.
What email address is that again, Matt?
Yeah.
I just said it, dude.
Only drummermat @Snipe and Wib @gmail.com.
I'm sorry, I get too much joy out of making both of you panic by doing that.
I'm going to have to set up like a forwarding email address that just says easy email @email.email or something. And that forwards onto the stupid email address.
No, just call it easy email @email.email. That forwards onto the stupid email address @gmail.com.
God. It can't because there's a character limit, as we found out with our original plan.
Yep.
Anywho, emails, we have a few.
Okay.
But then again, too few to mention.
Good.
Except we are going to mention them.
Yes.
It was a...
We'll mention all of them, and you can...
I know it's a joke. I get it. It's fine.
Say
the questions, Matthew.
As usual, I'll mention all of them in the order I got them, and you can edit out any shit ones.
What?
Okay.
Sorry if yours isn't here. It doesn't necessarily
You just
mean
realised the
you're shit.
implication of what you said, didn't you?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so Dromat as an entity does not reflect the Alpha Boost as an entity's property that is Snipe and Wib as an entity. Opinions about anything.
So, Rob asked, have you guys ever created a homebrew Primarch or homebrew Legion?
No.
Not a Primarch or a Legion, no. I have got a homebrew chapter, which is the Sons of Desolus, who are They use Deathwing rules because their chapter was basically eaten by orcs while the first company was away, and they just happen to have a lot of Terminator suits. So most of what's left is basically the first company, and I run them as Terminators.
Pretty rad,
yeah,
honestly.
They're black and red. They're sort of like an inverted Flash Terrors scheme, almost, with white faceplates for their veterans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd make my own Primarch, but everyone would get mad at me because they would be a girl.
And it's fine, because that's your own Primarch.
Yeah, but there's that small section of internet people that when I say 40k women, they just start screaming angrily.
Well, yeah.
So you know what? No, I am going to make my own female Primarch. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Look out, internet.
You're
Something
coming.
slightly different is approaching that will make some of you very angry for no reason.
Yeah.
What about you, Drumblebutt?
No, I have not. No.
Okay. Good question. Sorry we failed at it, but we really did fail Rob there.
Next up, Shanus. We have a late submission to the Rate My Waifu.
Okay.
May from Guilty Gear.
Oh, is she the booby lady?
I mean, she's from an anime, so probably. He provided a 20-second YouTube link to show her finishing move. She hits someone with an anchor that's bigger than her.
Okay.
I'm going to give her a 4 because those teeth are sinister. I don't like her teeth at all.
I don't know. I kind of
Those
like...
teeth are uncanny valley.
I kind of like her design. I think she's pretty cool.
Look at the teeth, though.
I am not as... I think... I don't see the teeth as much as you are. I think you're really homing in on the teeth.
That's all I'm seeing.
That's just a quirk of the rendering.
Yeah, and I find that massively terrifying.
Fair.
But I would give her a 7.
I'd give her a dentist appointment.
What would you give her, Matt?
I go a high 8 because hitting
It's 'cause she's short.
someone into a perfectly round hole in the floor with a giant anchor sounds like something.
Is this another one of your fucking bullshit fetishes?
Yeah, perfectly round holes in floors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where anchors go in.
He likes to slodge in them.
Oh, God.
Okay. Next up, so the next weekly topic was Star Wars theories.
Oh, yeah.
So criticism for the new Star Wars.
Okay.
Shanus thinks it's deplorable that they didn't keep the original name of Matt Wars. And they changed Matt Hamill's character from Matt Drummer to Matt Skywalker, which is just a complete travesty.
No, that's true.
I feel like they were maybe gaming the system for the person that was going to be reading this out.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe.
But I give that theory a double thumbs up.
I bet you do, you shit.
I'll give it a cynically gaming the system out of 10.
I will give it May's teeth out of 10.
Okay. They also have Shanus also has a question. Are you guys going to be getting the Kill Team sets?
Maybe not straight away, because, well, we still haven't painted our knights, so...
Or Dark Imperium.
So we're probably going to leave it a while.
Yeah. I've actually heard kind of mixed things about it. More importantly, I've heard, like, most people say it's really cool, and then I've heard just, like, one or two people go, it's shit. And I'm like, oh, okay.
So we'll just... Yeah. We'll ease off on it for a while and see kind of what the general consensus is, and hopefully get some of our unpainted models finished.
I'm interested by it mostly because it means that what I might try and do is see if I can run the limited amount of Cornate Guardsmen I made for an army that I never ended up completing, or even getting to a point that it was a legal army.
Yeah.
Like, see if I can run those in Kill Team, because then I have a place to use the models. So I did make a handful of them. So I made them from like Cadians and Chaos Marauders, like mixing them together. And hopefully I can one day be able to use them in that. So that would be fun.
Yeah.
Because actually Kill Team will be out by the time this podcast comes out. So
yeah.
That'll be interesting. I will say one thing: the terrain that's coming out with it is really cool.
That's a good deal.
And
they're actually doing pretty good with that. I mean, everything's still massively expensive, but yeah, they're getting a lot more sensible.
Like the Kill Team box comes with like a huge amount of terrain in it. There's like basically, if I remember rightly, it's if you bought all the terrain individually,
it'd cost about the same.
I think it would be worth slightly more than the whole box in total.
So it's a good deal.
And it also comes with like a couple of the squads. I think it's Mechanicum and Genestealer cult squads that for respective kill teams, and all the rules and a little map to play on as well. So that's fun.
So is it a separate game to 40k?
It's basically like a super skirmish level 40k. So it's like a squad.
Okay.
So they've amped up the rules a bit more. So I think if it works like old Kill Team, then you can like give traits to individual characters. And I assume, much like old Kill Team as well, you'll be able to move like dudes around individually.
So closer to like the Necromunda end of things.
Yeah, sort of halfway between that sort of thing and 40k. So a war-gamey approach to that. Actually, going by the Necromunda things, there are like campaigns with like permanent death for characters and stuff like that. So more RPG elements, which I'm always interested by.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm actually surprised that Snipe isn't more interested in that, because that sounds like a type of 40k that'd be way more up your alley.
I can't afford to be into that because I still have loads of expensive models I haven't painted.
Yeah, but they're assembled.
Okay, this is such a weird reversal of how this usually goes.
That's because I have very little impulse control when it comes to large boxes of plastic. Apparently.
But shoes.
Oh no! My knackered 4-pound shoes will last for years. It's fine.
You are the worst.
Finally, Snipe. Best husbando, Matt or Matt?
Is that drummer Matt or Wib Matt?
Matt or Matt?
I would assume, but it just says Matt or Matt.
I'm going to go with Matt.
Good answer.
Yeah, good.
All right.
I'm not going to specify which one.
Yeah, that's good.
You're specifying Matty, the lead singer of Last Edition.
He's still my heart. Or Matt Mercer.
Matt Mercer.
Matt Mercer's best husband.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Reek, the was British Canadian guardsman from Cadia, who has stopped being medic.
All right.
I'm glad that I could append things to people's names, and apparently it becomes canon.
Yep.
Yeah. You should use this purely to annoy.
First up, question to me: if you guys do get to your 100,000 subscribers, which they're personally rooting for very badly.
Same.
The sexy Misty video. Can I be involved and have a cameo in it as Sexy Star You?
Drama Matt would be an amazing Sexy Star You.
And I mean,
because we could just cut out a bit of cardboard and put it around his head, and he can be like Star You. And then he can just spit water on you.
If it happens, I will be more ambitious than that.
No, it's funny because it looks like you don't care, but you do need to have just a mouthful of water and spit it over Wib.
You do? Is this just a thing you want to see?
The answer to your previous question is both if one is spitting on the other.
Damn it! You've got me. I love it when men dress up as Pokemon characters and spit on each other. That's my number one kink. But only one of them will spit.
Can you please ask the next question?
No, don't.
I need to be away from this place.
But yes, no, I will do that. That's fine. Star Wars theory.
Okay.
Yes.
I personally left the cinema after Luke started to milk a squig for 30 minutes, and then acted as if nothing happened. But you know what really peed me off? The fact that it was a bomb squig and not the milking squig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the big problem, and that's
that's a very real criticism.
If it was an udder squig,
that's utterly ridiculous.
That would be utterly ridiculous. Yes.
Okay.
Fuck are we doing?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on.
Good.
Yeah.
I get to use my veto now.
Vikes. First off, thanks for the stunning endorsement of Streetlight Manifesto and the Scarpunk stuff in general.
Good, because they're the best band.
So yeah, we've converted at least one person.
We've actually converted a few people over the years. Every now and again, someone does leave us a message saying that they've started listening to Streetlight because of us bringing them up at every opportunity that we can.
Yeah.
So
you just want Senpai Kalnoki to notice you.
One day he'll notice me.
After we've got 4 people into them.
Yep.
And they'll be like, "Whoa, our audience has increased 100%." No.
Related to our ongoing dog project. Which,
yes.
I guess I hadn't really thought about it as being an ongoing project, but it kind of is.
Well, the ongoing dog project sounds really
They have.
I also don't know what the ongoing dog project would be.
Sending us
pictures of dogs.
Oh, okay, yes.
So we can just look at them and be like, that's a dog.
They have a few. They have, which I'll put up on the Twitter. First off, there's Cinder, which is a warhound, which counts as a dog. And it's also the size of a fat Pomeranian, so that double counts as a dog.
That's true.
The base of it is apparently a 10-inch clock.
Oh, careful how you say that.
Yeah. It's long and thin.
Just like me. Wait.
Next up, they don't have a dog anymore, but their neighbour's golden retriever apparently practically lives at their house and occasionally drags deer spines across the deck like a macabre xylophone.
A macabre xylophone!
Which just sounds amazing. Apparently, they follow up. It sounds kind of cool, but when it happens, it's actually just horrifically creepy.
That dog is my spirit animal.
Yeah, I want to meet this dog.
That is fucking amazing. That is
scary.
There's no pictures of this happening because I assume it doesn't happen every day.
Please send us pictures or a video of this dog just.
Yeah, next time it happens, if you can get a video, that would be amazing.
And that's a very good dog.
That's a very good.
Sounds like the best dog.
Creepy boy.
And the closest they currently have to dogs is that at the end of their garden they have a den of foxes that have started living there.
Oh, bless. Foxes are great.
Yeah, wild doggos, sort of.
I've heard foxes are quite good as pets because they're kind of like they're kind of affectionate like dogs, but they're kind of independent like cats.
Yeah, are they close? They're closer to dogs, right?
They are dogs. They're a canine.
Okay,
yeah.
They are
because they have like cat ears and I don't know. There's something cat-like about them.
I've heard them referred to as being cat software running on dog hardware.
Yeah, that's really funny. I was literally just about to say that.
Excellent. Yeah, they do have a question on Forge World. So as a producer and conceptualist of boutique niche models and stuff, and as a source for 40k rules, what are your general thoughts on Forge World?
I very much like Forge World.
They make good models.
They make very nice models.
I'll be honest, I've never actually played any of their models with rules from Forge World, so I don't actually have really an opinion on how good they are on the rules side of things.
Yeah, same, honestly.
Because we've got like a handful of Heresy era Marines, well, at least parts of them that we've integrated into our forces, and you've got a Forge World Venerable Space Force Dread.
Yeah.
And I've got a Tyberos, the Red Wake, that I use as my Master of the Deathwing for the army I mentioned earlier. So we've had a couple of things from them, and the quality's always been good. The sculpts are nice.
Fantastic stuff.
And they're pretty good.
Sponsor us, Forge World. I like your Space Wolf stuff.
If Forge World want to send us free Forge World,
if Forge World want to send us free Forge World.
And then we will say even nice things about them again. I
don't think we've ever really said anything bad about Forge.
No, I mean, it's a bit expensive, and the resin can sometimes be a bit of a bitch to work with, but,
But really pretty models.
But they're pretty. So yeah, I generally like them, but a little bit too expensive for me most of the time.
I mean, there was a time where various Forge World models were cheaper than the actual Games Workshop version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that occasionally.
I think that time has ended.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I remember at one point it was actually cheaper to buy the really nice Ripper Swarm models from Forge World than it was to buy the shitty ones from Games Workshop. Yeah. So it was like,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on. Gnomish Inquisition. They have 2 Star Wars theories. One is sort of serious, the other is less so.
I'm noticing
Why are we getting so many of those? I was looking forward to the husbando and waifu things, but I guess everyone kind of caught it a week late.
Yeah.
But sure,
the husbando and waifu thing was ages ago, right?
Yeah, but we did it again.
We
said it again last time.
Yeah. And everyone's like, this means Star Wars. It's like, God damn it, guys.
It's fine.
So 2 theories. One serious, one less so. I'll let you judge which is which.
Okay.
So 1. I'm not saying it would be perfect, but Attack of the Clones would be so much better if all the parts of Anakin and Padme were just not in it.
Okay, that's like a legitimate thing, though.
I think Attack of the Clones would be a lot better if all of the characters were absent and there was no cameras rolling and it was just a blank screen for an hour and a half.
Okay. It's just your opinion.
Yeah.
It's right, but it is just your opinion.
It's just my right opinion.
The second one, I think Han and Chewbacca have a secret romance. They even have a shared sour sheen in the new movie.
Sour sheen?
Sour sheen.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's how you pronounce it in Star Wars talk.
No. That's a different thing. That's what the Star Wars kids call, it's just the where he does the thing. It's like a rusty venture.
Oh, okay. So it's a euphemism for a sexual act.
Yes.
A shower sheen.
No,
Is that where you go and you sheen it up?
A sour sheen.
Shower sheen.
You gotta sour up the sheen.
Alright, moving on from laughing at my speech.
By any means necessary.
Yes, we'll move on from that. It's not
to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a sour sheen, because he has all that fur, and it's going to be really difficult to get that much shampoo in that many different places.
Well, since I never actually got around to seeing Solo, I can only assume that they replaced the old life debt thing
with a sour sheen.
That Chewbacca owes to Han, and instead he just, gives him a handy in the shower.
Yeah.
It's actually why he's called Han Solo, because he got handy.
Then wouldn't he be called Hand Solo?
Excellent.
Well, he probably is in the pornog adaptation.
Yeah.
Yep.
That I wrote.
Yes.
I keep pitching, but they'll keep ignoring me.
So, to keep you happy on the husbando thing, their final question, who would make a better husbando, Han or Chewie?
Well, I mean, Han would give you a handy in the shower.
No, well, Chewbacca gives you the handy.
Oh, but why is he Han Solo then?
Because he got given a handy.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say that we've seen what happens from a marriage to Han Solo. So I think Chewbacca. Because Chewbacca has got a wife and he's been married to her for fucking decades. So seemingly...
Oh, so he's a faithful husband.
He's a faithful husband. I mean, granted...
He likes showering.
I think the only time...
He's never there for her, but...
He's never there at all.
I think the only time she's been on screen is the Star Wars Holiday Special, so...
I'm starting to think maybe neither of these guys are good husbands.
Maybe actually they're both terrible husbands.
Yeah.
So I guess flip a coin.
Especially now one's dead.
Okay.
Atticus wrote in. Hail percussion mark. Good start. Strong start.
Okay.
I would like to submit what I consider to be one of the finest husbandos on this good green earth.
Okay,
I'll be the judge of that.
Lord Humongous from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. So I'm sure you're aware, but there's a picture anyway, just to refresh your memory and make you see it again. So some good points. Commands an entire warband of car barbarians.
Yeah,
Carbarians.
Sexy AF. Great fashion sense.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Very gentle lover.
I can, yeah.
Also, he's really good at making pancakes and is actually officiated as a reverend and has married Kelly Turnbull and her husband.
Yes. He's apparently the guy that plays him.
He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he does that. You can just go get Lord Humongous to come to your event.
So
and he'll
Kelly
come in
Turnbull
costume.
Dressed as that, or
Yes.
Kelly Turnbull
awesome.
is she's the author of
Manly
Manly Guys
Guys,
Doing
yeah.
Manly Things, which is a fantastic webcomic that I cannot recommend enough. And she's like total Terminator Mad Max aesthetic. She literally goes out in like Mad Max gear. That's
She looks
just how
like
she dresses.
yeah, she looks like she's from Fallout.
Yeah, she's amazing. And when she married her husband, they had Lord Humongous there, and everyone dressed up in like Mad Max kind of clothes, and he made them all pancakes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think he did actually marry them.
Yeah, I think he was officiating.
Yeah, he was just hanging around like a complete badass.
So yeah, Lord Humongous, 10 out of 10.
10 out of
Yeah.
11 out of 10.
Yeah.
Best husbando.
I'd say double thumbs up, but for this one, considering the outfit, I'm going to go double fist up.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, alright, that's fair.
Finally, Atticus does send you, Snipe, some cold thoughts, as you requested, to cool you down.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
yes.
very much.
We still need that, yes.
It hasn't
we
helped,
do.
but we need more of them.
Yeah.
All right. Ivan. So they've got. I think he's asking for advice. So
Okay,
guys, help.
We can try.
I GM'd 3 tabletop RPGs with the same group of friends, and I think one of my players is cursed. You see, we played Call of Cthulhu, Fallout PNP, and even a homebrew mess set in one of the Elder Scrolls universe, using the GURPS system.
Yeah.
In all 3 of those campaign situations, his rolls were exactly the same. He fails about 90% of all checks.
Oh.
Jesus.
Succeeds the other 5%.
He's straight up cursed.
Succeeds the other 5%, and then on the other 5 were just natural 20s. Which, to be fair to him, 5% natural 20s is what you should get. So he's doing that bit right.
Yeah.
Just the 90% failing is, less good. So they usually play in Roll20, and they thought it was some sort of bug on the rolling. So they tried rolling on their end of Roll20 instead for him. Didn't help. Tried rolling physical dice. Didn't make any difference at all.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Yeah, no,
So,
but,
apparently it sounds like I made it up, but it's for real. It doesn't break the game for the player, so he still finds it quite amusing. But as the DM, he's somewhat concerned.
I think that's the sort of thing where if you're really going to have such bad luck, I think it's the sort of thing where you have to kind of start speccing your characters out with that sort of stuff in mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if you
Basically just dump everything into armor.
just make a character that's just a tank, or make a character
armor might
that
be good.
like,
The last sentence, apparently he's played 4 different the players played 4 different characters in their Fallout game because he keeps failing rolls to save things.
Oh,
shit.
Jesus.
Maybe just like, I don't know, maybe have characters that don't, like, their abilities don't require rolls, like they're an automatic proc thing and it requires other people to roll on them or something.
Yeah, okay.
Like, there's some spells in D&D that work like that.
Yeah.
So rather than rolling to hit, they roll to save.
Yeah, like maybe that.
So stuff like auto hits, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the way around it. Failing that, an exorcism.
Yeah, exercise your dice and your cursed player.
And the PC with Roll20 on.
And the PC with Roll20.
Basically,
any PCs that have been in a Roll20 game with that PC.
Yeah, just exercise the fucking lot.
just get Gygax to go and bless like a glass of water and then flick it over your dice or
that
whatever.
might be difficult.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he charges quite a lot.
Jesus. Okay.
It might be very difficult.
I'd say borderline impossible because I'm
Yes.
pretty sure he has passed.
Well, you could just find someone else with the same name.
Okay, find Greg works.
Greg
Find
Gygax.
Greg.
No, just not even Gygax. It's just like if somebody's name starts.
Go to Greg's. Take your dice to Greg's.
Yeah, take your dice to Greg's and buy a steak bake or a cup of soup. It has to be one of those two. I'm sorry. And I don't know, throw them in the oven and run away with your steak bake, and then come back when they're
When they're done.
Maybe another.
Yeah.
Then you have to come back for a cupcake with a ring on it, the plastic ring ones.
There's a whole ritual here I'm not familiar with.
Well, speaking as someone who's just got new dice in because all my other dice are shit, and now
Yeah.
I'm addicted to buying new dice.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, then you take them out, you basically wear a mustache, and then you put the ring on, and then you take your dice back, and then you buy a new pair of dice, and it is cleansed.
Okay.
Yeah. And you've had dinner as well, so, you know. It has to be done in that order, otherwise, a beloved family member will just start throwing books at pigeons.
If you live in a country that doesn't have Greg's, you're just complete screwed. Like, there's
fucked.
no
No way
alternative
around it.
to this plan.
You have to catch a plane to the nearest country that has Greg's,
Which I think is only Britain.
which is only Britain, so come say hi. and do fill out the ritual as.
If you're not British when you get here, you will be abused by idiots. But
yeah, because idiots.
But it's worth it because Greg's is pretty great.
Greg's is great, and it will solve all of your dice.
Greg still has
food. For now.
Greg's is one place that has sufficient food and blood.
And decursifying ovens.
Anyway, yeah.
An unrelated question to that. Do you guys have any opinion on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
It's good.
What's that?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
You might not have heard of it.
It's good. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
We're like...
Joseph is the only Joestar who means anything, apart from Jolene.
We've been very slowly chipping through it, and we're like halfway through part 3.
Yeah.
It is a good show. I have not read manga, but the show is good.
Yeah, I've not seen it.
I think Polnareff needs to fuck off.
Is it on Netflix?
No. You have to find it on the interwebs.
Yeah.
But it is worth watching.
It's on Crunchyroll.
It's it fits into the category of anime that I tend to really like, because I have a very specific taste, which is I like anime that is action oriented and very stupid.
Okay.
And
Kill
over
the Kill,
top.
Gurren Lagann.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
JoJo's.
Yeah.
Bizarre Adventure. Yeah.
Yeah. That it fits into that kind of stuff. One Punch Man as well. You know.
One Punch Man is good.
Those kind of things.
Mob Psycho.
Mob Psycho's good. Yeah. Like all of the ones I like tend to be very similar, which is actiony things that are silly. But yeah, JoJo's good. Not that anyone really needs us to say that.
Joseph Joestar's
good.
Joseph is good. I do like Joseph.
Their last point, which wasn't really a point, and I don't usually make it a habit of reading out how people say goodbye in the emails, but I just really liked, they just said, bye, have a nice podcast. It's like,
oh, thank you very much.
Oh, that's just, I don't know, it just made me grin.
See, I love how if you italize any part of that, it makes it sound like it's kind of a moderate threat / sarcasm.
Yes, I don't think they meant it that way.
In fairness,
which is why they didn't italize anything. But I was just thinking, like, if you italize that, it'd be really hurtful.
To be fair, random italization in a lot of sentences ends up sounding oddly threatening.
Just try it. Just put in a random, just italize, one word in any sentence, and it just makes it weird and kind of people will become very suspicious of you.
You just throw the actual intonation of how you'd say it all over the place.
Yeah.
Is italize a word? Is that how you say that? I think I would have always thought it was italicize.
If it's italize or italicize, I can never remember.
Yeah, see, threatening.
I can never remember.
I don't know why I know that you're doing that.
I can never remember.
Yeah, weird. Okay, last item.
Yes.
Beast of Bramble Jam.
Jam.
We've been having chats, but it's actually probably not important for you guys to hear. It's nothing to do with how best to eliminate you guys in case things go wrong. And it's fine. You don't need to know about this. It's fine. No, ignore that. Ignore that last one.
About this.
It's fine.
Okay,
it's fine. Done. Questions are done.
Okay.
Oh, okay, fine.
That was okay.
Okay. So yes, that was a podcast, I guess.
Yay!
That was a podcast.
That was a podcast.
That was a podcast.
Yeah. I don't like it.
You don't like it.
Or you don't like it.
Or you don't like it.
So, goodbye, everybody.
Thank you for listening, and yay, 6-year channel anniversary.
Oh yeah, shit, yeah. Channel is 6 years old now.
Congrats,
so
guys.
That's the thing.
Everyone should celebrate by going back and watching your oldest videos.
No.
Or, yes, and watch all of them, and then we can get that sweet 25 cents of ad revenue.
For every single person,
one person watching all 500 odd videos or however there are on the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for joining us, and here's to another 6 years. No more.
No more.
No more. It ends after
years.
6 years.
The experiment is over.
The experiment is over. We can all go home.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us, Wib, who I live with and can't actually get out of this. Thank you for joining us, Drummer Matt, who basically, his soul lives here, so...
Definitely does this voluntarily.
Yeah,
yes.
For some reason, and we're very grateful. Bye, everybody!
Goodbye.
Bye.